Hey, what's up Transformers fans, my fellow geek gals and geek guys. This is Mike and I'm here with the third episode of MP² Reviews, the new series that is going to be focusing on basically just the newer toys, not so much the classic toys in the MP line or the older toys that I cover in Transformers Time Warp. So here today I'm excited to review FT-51 Chomp from FansToys. Now I have not reviewed a lot of FansToys. If you've seen my channel, I think I've only reviewed FT-29 Quietus, FansToys version of Cyclonus, and that is an awesome toy. I'm not a hardcore FansToys only kind of collector, but I am excited about this guy. I own Dracula, FansToys version of Mindwipe, and I still have not opened that Mindwipe, so I'm excited to actually see one of these FansToys Headmasters for the first time. And though it may not be popular to talk about or to support, but I do have the FansToys Lupus, their Weirdwolf, on pre-order as a KO. That thing is so expensive to get aftermarket, and I know they're coming out with their reissue, but their reissue's far out, and if this version of Lupus is good enough for my collection, then, you know, I may just leave it at that. So here we go, without further ado, FansToys FT-51 Chomp. Their homage to G1 Skullcruncher, aka Skull Smasher, according to tfwiki.net, the Decepticon Headmaster. This bot featured both in the American G1 continuity
Look out to your left!
And the Japanese G1 continuity. In the American series, Skullcruncher was a Decepticon transformer, and it was bonded to an alien Nebulon character, Grax, as his headmaster. And in the Japanese continuity, Skullcruncher was the headmaster, and the actual transformer body was nothing but a lifeless transtector that Skullcruncher, the headmaster, controlled. When the pre-orders first came out, I was able to pre-order this from robotoybase.com, so just keep that in mind as a possibility. Some people have had bad experiences with them. I've had pretty much good experiences with them, although on this shipment I did have to call and ask if it was coming soon because people were already getting theirs and I had this on a pre-order, so I was kind of hoping to get it, you know, around the same time or maybe earlier than other people. So anyway, that little, you know, complication aside, no issues. Tony at RoboToyBase has always treated me well, and I value them as a resource. Okay, look at that. Nice glossy box. Some decent art. The front, of course. Let's see. I guess top and bottom are the same. Backside. There we go. And with the other Decepticon Headmasters there. Mindwipe, which is out, and Weirdwolf, which is out. I know that Lupus is on reissue pre-order. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but they're probably both on pre-order. So at least one of them is on reissue pre-order. And we've got the FansToys seal and the FansToys seal on the bottom there too. Cool. One thing about FansToys that I do like is, you know, they do make it an experience. You know, I love the fact that they've got these little brand nods. I think that kind of thing shows a lot of pride in your business and your craft. Nothing left in the box. FT-51 there. You can see that in the embossing there. Very cool. Nice big owner's manual / instructions guide, plus a collector's card. And you know, this is a nice dense collector's card, it looks like. Yes, indeed. This is a nice plastic card, and Looks good. This image here is a little dark. Wish they could have printed that a little bit better. And it looks like it might actually be, well, you know, not that it's a big deal, but it's like a, I don't think it's an actual picture. It's like a 3D render. So anyway, cool collector's card. Instruction manual. Nice and clean. Multicolor. Ooh. Whoa. Okay. Oh, video instruction. Right there, that QR code. Oh, I got a tiny picture of FT-51 Chomp there in the center. That's cool. But what does this entire image mean? All right. Instruction manual. There is Chomp. Wow, that is seemingly very heavy. A couple things that fell out. His tail slash sword and his rifle. Nicely sculpted. Yeah, nicely painted. Cool design. So it did come with this plastic covering to keep it from getting marked up in shipping. So that's nice, good protection there. And nothing else in the lid. Wow, okay, yeah. As FansToys fans, I think love and, you know, like to point out, there is heft to this guy. A lot of heft. There's a lot of metal in this guy. That's pretty cool. But, you know, one thing that I have with, like, you know, the in-hand feel versus how it looks is if it's on my shelf and it's part of my collection, I want it to look good as the character. If it's got weight that I don't feel when I'm not looking at it, it doesn't really matter to me. You know, it might be cool as far as like when I handle it, but I'd rather have looks over weight, to be honest. So let's get this guy tweaked around. Looks like he's backwards in some fashion, and let's have a better look. So if you heard that sound when I just put him down on the table, Chomp is definitely heavy. That's not the sound of a light toy being put on a table. So what can I say? Right out of the box, you know, you get him swiveled around and his feet pointed in the right direction, put his weapons in his hands, and he looks really awesome. You know, just the way they have the thighs angled, it really gives him that Transformers, that Sunbow kind of feel, you know, with kind of the exaggerated perspectives and stuff like that. So I really dig that he can have that kind of almost inverted knee kind of stance. Looks very cool. I have to say that the holding of the gun here, the tab in system here is, despite that, what you just saw, it kind of swivel out of his hand, that groove and this block here for his hand, like Takara Tomy has for their figures, but this one really, really holds well. I mean, look at that. No fingers or thumb are holding that in position. So kudos to FansToys. That is a solid connection right there. Not so sure about the sword. Let's take a look at that. Holds in the hand fine, but, you know, how about without any assistance? Dang. I mean, yeah. How can you really ask for anything more than that? That is in there. Kudos FansToys, thank you. The quality that they do put out here is impressive, and please give us more of this kind of thing, everybody. All you third-party companies out there, you know, give us more of that. That stuff is worth investing some time in, so that there's not frustration after the fact when, you know, your customers are trying to pose their figures. So very cool. Fingers are individually articulated. The only thing that I kind of would criticize is the weird kind of fact that these are hinged below the knuckle, so that it's got this bump. I mean, I don't think that's going to affect any kind of posability really, but it looks a little bit weird. That's a minor thing. Got a nice ball joint here for the thumb joint, so you can swivel it around. It has that articulation point right there for a thumb knuckle, so there's that. What else can I say? Swivels 360. Do we have some kind of wrist tilt? Not obviously some kind of wrist tilt. It's on a peg joint there, so unless it's at the actual wrist on the arm itself, I guess it's not gonna tilt. Not a big deal. How about the arm? Okay, so we've got that bicep swivel completely around. We've got a double joint for the elbow, which gives us, you know, 45. You know, so that's good. There's that 90, and then there's that that upward 45. Good. We've got all the way 360 around. We've got shoulder kind of binds right there, so shoulder that far up, not quite 90 degrees. Let's see, any kind of butterfly joint. I'm not seeing an obvious butterfly joint. It's on this ball and peg system, so maybe this panel can be loosened. I don't know yet. It does have this, you know, flex because it's on the ball joint. It has this nice satisfying ratchet here at the waist, so definitely has a waist swivel. How about ab crunch? Okay, not seeing an obvious ab crunch. I was torquing on that a bit, but I'm also not the most familiar with FansToys, so maybe there's something I'm missing there for an ab crunch, but it definitely has that waist swivel. Nice ratchets in the knees and in the hip. Let's see about the Van Damme. Yeah, bring the hip skirts up and you can do the full Van Damme. Very cool. Kicks up pretty far, especially with that, you know, extra little bit of knee. You can give a kick to something. So the thigh doesn't go out fully 90 degrees, but you can get that kick out there for your soccer playing. Kick back, let's see this. All right, so just wondering if his snout's gonna get in the way here. Okay, so the snout does kind of, you know, kind of collide there, but there you go. Basically the same kind of angle in reverse, and the knee can bend, of course. So you got a nice far back kick. Just be aware that you may be rubbing up against the snout. And let's see, thigh swivel. Yeah, we've got this hip thigh swivel there. Do we have another one at the knee? No. So single. Got almost a 90 degree bend, not quite. And we've got the ankle rocker there. We can tilt the toe up, tilt the toe down. That's some really nice articulation for the feet, so very, very cool. Thank you, FansToys. And what else? Let's come to the head. The head, as you can see, can kind of be looking down. There's not a, well, it's got a decent up. It's got, you know, you can do up a little bit. Let me set him on a surface here, and let's see about that. So definitely, let me take him off the surface there. Tilt down, you can tilt up a little bit. Not a whole lot of articulation. Side to side just is because it's on this in this swivel joint in this peg system here, ball and joint peg system. So there's not a whole lot of tilt that's going on, and the head just pops out like that. So you got that, what is it? Basically a ball and peg, and it just goes in there. So there you go. And I was just verifying, but pull open the chest here. Maybe use your spudger. Pop off his head. Okay, so there you go. And let's put his head back on. And there you go. He's got his fake Headmaster specs. They are applications, not actual mechanism. So unlike Hannibal, which is coming out, Fortress Maximus's head, which is going to actually trigger a mechanism in here to show his stats. This one is just a sticker system, but it is there. So that is cool. What about the Headmaster? Nice face sculpt, good details. And then, of course, this shouldn't take a whole lot to transform, I wouldn't think. But then again, I haven't done a FansToys Headmaster before. So let's see about untabbing all this stuff. There we go. Oh, tabbed in there. That's nice. Keeps that arm secure. And there you go. He's got his own little face there. Wow. That looks pretty decently detailed. Let me take a look at it off camera. Yeah, that's a nice tidy paint application on his face. That red visor and that yellow face. Thank you, FansToys. And we've got, you can't raise his arm above his head. He can flex the arm up that way. He can flex the arm out a little bit that way. He cannot fly his arm out. Let's see, can he go out this way? Yes, he can go about 45 degrees out to the side with his shoulders. He's got that elbow joint. He's got that thigh joint and that knee joint there. Not quite, well, yeah, not quite 90 degrees with that kick up, and not quite 90 degrees with that bend down, but he can kneel. Oh, and he's got little ball joint feet for flexing. So there you go, tilt, and yeah, there you go. Rock, at least to the inside, not to the outside because it's blocked. Unless that's a panel that can swivel, but I don't think that is. Let's find out. No? Let me look at it. Okay, now that is indeed a molded piece there. It's not a panel that you can swivel around. So, there we go. And yeah, look at that. The green has kind of like a pearlescent kind of sheen, which is cool. You know, kind of ties it into, you know, the glittery kind of pearlescent applications here on the paint, and the, you know, the thighs here too, on metal and on plastic. And then this, wow, this is also kind of a metallic sheen on the pinkish. That is nice. This is also very nice. I just got to bring attention to this peg system again. Instead of the arm and legs just fitting loose against the back of the head, FansToys actually has this slot and tab system where that arm is going to slot in solidly to the back of that faceplate. And this foot does something similar. So let's go to the other side. That tab, show you that a little bit better. So there's that tab, and that goes in securely there. Now there is a tab here. There's a slot and this tab fits in nice and securely there. So kudos to FansToys again. Their execution is top notch, and that's something to love about FansToys. This is one handsome bot. And that is one cool lizard. Let's go through it. First, a criticism. The tail will crank side to side. It will not pivot at this first joint where it attaches to the body. So if you're not connecting the dots yet, this is the sword, just that it's been opened up to become a tail and snapped into place here. So unlike on the box, where they actually show that the tail looks like it can kind of, you know, slink down and then lower. This tail does not do that unless you turn it sideways, and then you can bend it up into a curve down. But otherwise, it's really meant to go side to side. So there's one criticism, but very cool that they, you know, made this tail jointed. Awesome. Yeah, so that's really cool. The weight of this guy, you know, it can't be understated. Aside from that, though, really cool looking design for Skullcruncher. And I really like it. Head does flex up and down. There is a little bit side to side. So there you go. You can do some of that alligator action. I have not tried the mouth yet. Let me come back to that. Oh wait, there we go. Oh, that's cool. Oh, there you go. Got some laser guns in there. That's awesome for that gator laser attack. Very cool. The legs, they tend to compact, I guess. They kind of like, they're meant to be extended like this, and it helps if you twist at the bicep swivel. That way it kind of locks onto the housing here of the shoulder and doesn't let the bicep slip up into the shoulder. This has a cool rocker, so that gives you some more stability in posing. Back leg does not have a rocker on the foot. Wait, maybe it does. Oh, I'm wrong. It's got a bit. Really? Yeah, it's got a bit of a rocker. Okay, I did not realize that. But if that doesn't give you enough play to get your alligator to be on a nice flat surface, then you can also, you know, swivel this leg back, up and down. Not too much forward, but a little bit. So there you go, a little bit. And then we can go back, and then you can go up, and you can go down. So there you go. So cool alt mode. I'm sure we can make some fierce poses with his mouth open and stuff like that. But let's look at the Headmaster. And the Headmaster is here. Now, if you're watching the Japanese continuity, the Headmaster is actually the personality of Chomp. And actually in the G1 Japanese continuity, this is Skullcruncher himself. And the body is a lifeless robot Transstector. So in the American G1 cartoon, this is a Nebulon named Grax. And so Grax was bonded to Skullcruncher here, but in the Japanese continuity, it's all one being. He's just controlling it, much like the Diaclone series from which Transformers largely comes, where the bots, you know, actually had people inside them. So at least that's my understanding of Diaclone. All right, so this little guy is cool. Let's take a look at his little compartment for when he's in the alt mode. Let me get my spudger. Okay, there we go. Whoa, that is a cool cockpit. Yeah. Look at that chrome accent right there and that plastic steering wheel. A little bit of paint apps there on the dashboard. That is nice. That is wow. All right, so this little guy. And there you go. Let's see, does he fit in there precisely? Let's see, he's getting kind of in his own way. There we go. Now, will that close? Okay, so I guess you have to hide the hands. I don't want to press down too much on this. It doesn't look like the window's going to clear, really. So I've got to make sure that the hands are underneath the dashboard. There he is, tucked nicely into the cockpit. And this was just something I accidentally found out. Let's close this up. And I didn't realize, but his head can actually rotate. Uh-oh, but now it just bound. Why did it bind? Oh, crud. Something swiveled. Okay, I think that's this little plate here. Crud. Let me... All right, let me figure this out and get back. All right, so I didn't catch it before, but there are these little panels here that I don't know if it really gives it, I don't think it gives it any more articulation really, but you can swing these panels out to the sides. This one swivels out nicely, and then it becomes probably just kind of a better look for him, so he doesn't have that gap there when he's in the alt mode. And this one's a little bit tougher to swivel, but there you go. Then that just kind of covers that gap up. And then his head still can swivel side to side. It can turn. So you can do that little lizard thing, you know, where they'll look up at you. Like, what are you looking at? You know? So very cool alt mode. Pretty awesome looking. The green and pink, I mean, whatever you think about that, I think it works. And it's kind of belies how mean this guy really is, which could be a good war tactic. So what do I think of FansToys FT-51 Chomp, their homage to Transformer Skullcruncher, aka Skull Smasher, and his Headmaster, Grax, or in the Japanese continuity, not Grax, just Skullcruncher. I think this is a really solid character. FansToys has done a great job putting this thing together. It looks good, it feels good, it transforms well. There's just some minor things articulation-wise. Couldn't find the ab crunch if there is one. The tail articulation doesn't articulate, you know, fully in like 360, so that you can get kind of what the box shows as far as a tail kind of lift in the back. But aside from that, it's really cool. The head has some limited articulation too. As you can see, the jaw is open here. Getting that jaw to open and look right, you know, I think an alligator, a crocodile, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. I thought they hinged basically from the bottom jaw down, not necessarily from the nose up, but I guess, I don't know. I haven't watched enough National Geographic or Discovery Channel, I guess. So anyway, cool character, very cool bot. I will be happy to have this in my collection. The only thing that, from a presentation standpoint, that I would like to see more of is more details. You know, I know they're going for the quote-unquote cartoon aesthetic now, at least with this bot they did, and I just would have liked to have seen more accents, more splashes of color, more paint detail. So we'll see if Toy Hacks has a sticker kit that maybe I can get and maybe I'd like. Other than that, great bot, and you know, if you're not necessarily looking for extreme posability, very solid entry into a Headmaster, I think. So, what do you think? Tell me in the comments below. Maybe you think that the articulation is an important thing for FansToys to start considering. But this is a solid looking character. The design is great, especially in the bot mode. Really happy with that. One thing I wanted to point out too was I did swivel those tabs back into the neck, so there is a gap in between the head and the body there. I think it might help a little bit with the articulation of the head, depending on how you want to turn it. So just be aware there is that option to keep those tabs tabbed in or to pull them out and cover up those gaps. All right, thank you for watching. If you're a first-time watcher, consider coming back for more mixelpix here. I've got Transformers Time Warp for older Transformers Masterpiece characters. I've got Transformers Prime Time for Transformers Prime characters. I've got this MP Squared reviews for current Masterpiece characters, and I've got Iacon 2 archives for, you know, things that interest me about the fandom, interviews so far. If you're a first-time watcher, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell as well so that you get notified anytime a new mixelpix video drops. And if you got friends that you know would like this content too, let them know about it. Share this link, share the channel, and subscribe and get notified, and hit that like button for me. It would really help me out. Let's see if we can get up to 1,000 subs. Right now we're you know, around the 750 mark. So let's keep going. All right, until next time, happy collecting, everybody.